Hey, you filthy animals. Welcome back to the Benny and Jakey show. So, by popular demand, you guys have been calling for it forever, aka just a couple days. Got Jacob back and his cammed, headered, supercharged T5 swapped V6 Firebird. What a machine. Tell us, man, what made you want to do this?
Well, needed a daily.
Okay.
Decided to get something stylish and a little sporty. I went with a 1999 base model Firebird. Nothing crazy, but beats buying a V8, especially with how the prices are. They're kind of...
Whoa. Just 5.3 swap it. They only cost $300 or $400 in the junkyard. Why didn't you do that?
Okay, well, yeah, you can get a block for $300 to $500, sure, but then you need wiring harness, computer, headers, exhaust, you need a trans, you need accessories, and you also need a K member. You go from $500 swap to very easily $3 to $4 grand, just snap your fingers, and that's basic stuff. If you want to do a set of heads and a cam on it, okay, you just tack on another $1,500.
Yeah.
Still got to get it tuned. You might even need bigger injectors at that point. You're also going to need an intake because the truck intake doesn't fit on a F-body. They're just too big.
Good point. Hey, so these are factory accessories?
These are all factory accessories, yes sir. Everything stock location. The only thing we've added is, obviously we had the supercharger, and I had a little standoff made to run another pulley for extra belt wrap. I can still run a stock pulley, or stock belt on this with minimal contact on the supercharger, but a stock size belt can and will fit underneath the hood because it's all stock accessory still.
All right. So people are interested, man. They love the build. Yep. Walk me through it, okay? What does it take for someone to replicate this build? Parts needed, maybe a little bit of the cost, and some of the pitfalls you might have fallen into when building.
Okay, so your best bet's gonna be try and find yourself a front-wheel drive supercharged car. If you can find a later model one, 04 to 05, those are gonna have the Gen 5 blower and a slightly larger intake valve. That'll be your go-to. That's what I ended up getting a hold of. You're gonna need the heads, the lower intake manifold, and the supercharger from the car, as well as the valve covers. If you don't have the valve covers, you can't fit them around the injector boxes. That's it.
Those are the main hard parts. And what junkyard price? What did you find those for?
Heads run you like $200. Supercharger I think is $150 or so.
Oh,
maybe
real
even
cheap.
$75.
Okay.
But like all in all, you can probably get all the parts of the junkyard for $500.
All right.
Which ain't bad. And that's probably including on the factory cars. They have a 2-belt setup. Mine's got an offset pulley, but they run a secondary belt on the factory cars with a larger harmonic balancer and an extra bracket over here. All in all, including those parts, probably out the door $500 if you can hit like LKQ or even a local yard that might have cheaper prices.
Okay, then modifications and fabrication. What needs fabricated?
So you're gonna have to cut up and weld on the supercharger to bring the intake around to the side over there, and then your thermostat, you're gonna need to add some distance to it. Either put a slip fitting and run more hose, or you can do like I do and weld up a big aluminum stretch. So you still have your bleed screw at the higher point and everything, and then it connects at the factory location, factory radiator hose.
And this intake?
I went ahead and made that. A lot of people use a crinkle style hose just to connect it here, or they'll do a battery relocation and just run a simple cold air kind of generic intake on it, and it'll be just fine. Okay,
let's go over here. We have a supercharger on the ground to kind of show what you're talking about modification wise when you put this one together.
We have a Gen 3 here, and when you go to put the elbow on, this is the stock throttle body location. On an F body, this puts it right into your firewall. You don't got anything to work with here. So what I went through is I cut mine. This valve is a little bit different location, but I cut mine at an angle here, just straight down all the way through, and then I took a 180 degree bend, and I cut it, and I just welded it on here so it swept the intake around.
Okay, so now this face is over on this side.
Yes, the throttle body mount is now here. You can use, if you have a Gen 3, you can cut and use this plate
Hold up, we got a jet going over. Oh, inconvenient.
So inconvenient.
Not even military craft, it's just a boring passenger jet. Okay, nice. So what gen is this?
This is a Gen 3. It's a little bit less efficient than the Gen 5. The Gen 5 picks up a little bit more horsepower, and it flows just a bit better than the Gen 3 does. I got a lead on one, so I went ahead and got it while I was in there. I was like, just do it once, do it as best we can. So with a Gen 3, you can cut the throttle body mount plate off, and you can just re-weld that. If you have a Gen 5, you'll want to cut it off of your NA intake and weld that onto the pipe so you have something to mount to.
And we'll put a lot of this, first off, there's a link to his build.
Yes.
We're gonna definitely be adding that. Might be flashing on the screen right now. We'll also have a link down in the description below so you guys can see the build there.
Yep.
After that, so tuning wise, injector wise, anything?
So with my setup, because I went with a Nick cam, it's a little bit of a larger cam, and I went with a 136-pound valve spring so I can get a little bit more power out of it. I had to upgrade to 42-pound injectors. If
Okay.
you're running a stock blower, stock pulley size, everything like that, you can run the stock injectors from the car at the junkyard. Just make sure you clean them up and that they're not faulty. That'd obviously be a bad day. Go make some boost, got an injector stuck closed or something.
Yeah.
You'll have a rough day.
Yeah.
So just make sure they're clean, kind of check all your parts over. And then the other part is you're gonna have to mess with your wiring harness. I'm looking into the whole de-looming and just redoing everything. But what I ended up having to do is there are points where I had to cut and add wire distance for the mass airflow. And then for the ignition coil module, I remounted it from the back up here to the front of the head like a front wheel drive car. I had to add some wiring there. And then you also have to add length to the throttle body connector over here to move it because it's gone from the center of the car off to the side. So those are the things that you have to be able to do. So if you can solder or if you can cut and splice a wiring harness and have it do well, you'll be set to go, and then some fab work, and then you're all set.
So we're cruising in it, man, and like overall, it's not too loud.
No, I've gone through and sound deadened the whole trunk, and I built a custom exhaust for it that runs it straight out the back.
Okay.
And
So it's not dumped or anything like that right here. So we're
all the way out the back, and this is about highway cruising volume, except for some wind noise, obviously.
oh yeah, well yeah, T-top car
yeah.
in the 90s.
You can't not have wind noise.
Absolutely. So idle, not bad either. I mean, no surge.
Nice and smooth.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Comes right down. Nice, easy driver. I've got a multi-material or multi-friction material disc in it. Part of
Okay,
it's,
so new clutch in the T5.
Yep, new clutch. It's got a standard material on the front and then pucked on the back to give it a little bit more strength, but not be quite as aggressive as a fully pucked clutch.
Okay, this rides better than mine, I feel like.
It might. It's got, I've gone through all the suspension on it. She's got shocks all the way around, lowering springs, and then I ordered some goodies for the back. She's got tubular lower control arms and lower control arm relocation brackets, as well as an adjustable panhard bar.
So you have shocks all the way around, and this is lowered.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Okay, that is not a... Okay, so yeah, totally can tell that it's not a regular V6.
Yeah, it's got a lot more get up and go than it did when it was
Wow,
factory.
man. Dang.
Yep, you got a nice little bit of whine that'll creep through,
Yeah.
but
Oh my goodness, I'm sure they can see the surprise on my face. Like I knew it's a Supercharged V6, but this is the first time riding in it.
oh yeah, and it's got, the low end torque is just amazing because it doesn't matter where you're at in the gear, it'll climb out of it and just go.
Oh my goodness, that, so when you were talking about the low end torque, I always think, you know, that kind of pulls like an LT car. You know how LTs are known for like their low end power versus LS? Have you ever been in an LT?
I have not been in an LT1 car, no.
Yeah, from the beginning, like the low RPM, it puts you back, and yeah, man. Oh my goodness.
We're in the bottom of second, we'll just...
Oh my gosh. So yeah, dude, this is for the money. That's some good power. Dude, I'm trying to think like how much this thing weighs. Probably 3,200 pounds.
Maybe a bit heavier. It's got a lot of sound under in it, some tools, a couple people. We got rare spotting. We got a red convertible Camaro rolling by.
There's at the resort we're staying at. There's one from Indy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, 49.
Wow.
Marion County, Indianapolis. So, yeah, that was kind of fun to see.
That's awesome.
It looked exactly like that. So I'm like, that's why I was turning around. That looked to me
Checking
like
the plates.
I think that was Pennsylvania or New York.
Still cool to see them on the road.
It definitely is. So I would
making. But I've only got a 308 rear gear in it, which is pretty lazy by most people's standards.
Spitting on myself. Yeah, the 308 isn't
not particularly happy for differential gear.
My 88 that I had, my 88 Firebird had 273s, man, and it was
pretty lazy.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah. I got a friend with a 3rd gen that he just put a 323 diff in it with Posi, and it just woke that thing up. But she's got 308 gears. She cruises right along, still gets decent gas mileage. And the tune's not fully finalized. It's got a little bit more that it can pick up on the top end. I got a couple degrees of timing I can kind of sprinkle in here and there, and a little bit more fueling that it'll handle. And it should be right around 300 wheel.
Okay.
And then the torque curve with the positive displacement blower, the torque curve will be pretty respectful all the way across the board on the low end, and then taper off up top.
So what type of boost are we building there? I didn't even look at the gauge. I just smiling my stupid face off, man. Like
peak boost is about 6 pounds. With the Nick cam, I've got a 3.4-inch pulley on it, so it's smaller than factory by a decent margin. I've got the cam in there, which helps it breathe, and then I have cleaned up all the casting marks on the intake side of the heads and the lower intake manifold. It has there's a support bridge underneath the bottom of the blower that people cut out that was already removed.
Okay.
And I did a lot of port work on the exhaust, so overall it flows a substantial amount more than it would factory, and at most it makes about 6 pounds of boost, which
this thing gets out of its way, man. That moved. That was fun.
It does pretty well. I'm quite happy with it, and just cruising. We're in 4th gear, doing about 45, and it's got enough that, like, if you need to pass somebody, you can roll on it and it'll go.
Let alone, drop a gear.
Yeah, drop a gear or two, because with that 308, 2nd gear will slip out to 65, so if you really need to, you can drop all the way down and go. And as far as cam bucking goes, it's quite minimal. I mean, we're right in the cam bucking area, right around 1500 RPM, and it just kind of goes.
Gang, if you're worried about cam bucking when you put a cam in, just don't put the cam in, man. It's gonna happen. Yeah, there's gonna be like some excellent tuners that, can prevent it from bucking. Cam bucking is just part of like having a healthy cam, man. So if that's what people have to complain about, get out of here. There is a little bit of whine to it, man. You can hear it just slightly.
We'll try
you can
and
also
get a
hear some
point that we can let her kind of eat in second. You'll be able to hear her whine pretty well.
A little blow off of. Nice. Sounding good, brother. So here's a fun test, right? So people will say, yeah, it drives pretty well, and they're the one driving it. Yep. So now somebody that's never driven it, and let's see if he runs close to shock. Yeah, no chatter there. Nice, no bucking.
Nice.
Which way am I wanting to go? Where? How?
I can go straight. We'll turn left and turn right over there where we came in. Oh. Nice and easy. A little bit of bucking right in there.
That's not bucking.
No.
That's nothing.
Bucking. We'll put some very heavy quotation marks on it.
Yeah, dude. The bucking in my car.
The whole experience.
It is. I'm not giving it the beans. Nice. That is fun, man. Yeah. That's good.
Oh, for sure.
That's good stuff.
The other fun part, you can't money shift in the strands.
Really?
You cannot get into first if you're going over 15.
Being a person that has performed a money shift operation on his vehicle, that's something I can appreciate.
Yeah, no, from what I've found online, it's just how the transmission acts even after rebuild.
Can I take it all the way up to like 5,500 RPM?
Yeah, just go ahead and turn left. It shifts it. You'll want to shift it like 6,200. That's what limiter is.
Okay. Well, now there's like a Mustang in front of us, and I don't want to like.
It looks like it's an EcoBoost model.
Yeah, but I don't want to give the beans and have them think that we're like racing, and then they wreck into us.
Oh, that's understandable.
Does the T5 have internal stops, or is that the shifter?
That's the shifter. It does not have internal stops.
Okay.
So if you have a factory shifter, it is very, very easy and semi-common to overthrow, especially into like third gear.
Yeah.
And you'll spit your slider keys out and get locked into the gear. Because your slider keys are supposed to be flat like this, and it kind of your collar will slide back and forth. And if you overthrow into third, the keys will kick up at an angle, and it doesn't matter how hard you pull on that shifter, you're stuck.
Bound.
You gotta pull that trans open and get them out of there.
Nobody would see this coming, man.
No.
This is like an ultimate sleeper.
Especially once you're not stationary. When you're stationary, it's got a little cam to it, it's a little suspect, but once you get her moving a little bit.
I hope the sound's coming across well.
I really do.
Because that is a good V6 sound.
Yeah.
It's not really import-like. It doesn't have like the nastiness that you like associate with like a GM or a Ford 6-cylinder. Like, that sounds good. Yeah. Dude, that is good, man.
Not bad, I don't think.
No, it's not bad. It's literally good. Guys, this is awesome. Okay. Dang, son, yeah. 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 100%. Okay, 100% would like to say, when I said earlier 260 horsepower, that was incorrect. It is more than that. That was good stuff. So there you have it, folks. A cammed, header, blown, T5 swapped. What am I missing?
Port work, maybe?
Port work, injectors.
Injectors, yeah, gotta have those. Pulley drop.
Yeah, V6 Firebird. Pretty close to 300 horsepower. You guys can see the footage, right? I mean, it moves and it gets out. So again, if you're thinking about building a V6, I'm 100% behind you on it. I'm not gonna try to talk you out of it.
I think it's a good way to learn a lot and have some fun. I'm gonna try and get her lined up with a LS1 auto car. We'll see how she acts.
Oh, yeah.
She's got more 888s on me though, so.
No, we'll need to see that right when it comes out. So
we'll have to work on it.
Go ahead and check out Jacob's website. It's fbodyfutures.com. So there he sells some really awesome knobs that really updates the interior, HVAC knobs and light knobs. He has a package there. So new items coming out right now, right? This is really cool, gang.
So the one that we're looking at releasing, it'll be up on Friday, this past Friday for you guys. It's gonna be these little keychain pieces. It is a scan of a real WS6 hood. They're 3D printed. They're nice and strong. You don't gotta worry about breaking them. They'll be going live on the website.
Very nice, man. Those are gonna be awesome. Again, guys, build what you have, right? Do it your way. Don't listen to other people and their comments. If they're there to help you, that's fine. Listen to that, but never to listen to anybody discourage you to, if you got this crazy dream or build in your head, just go for it, guys.
Get it done.
Absolutely. Jacob is living proof of it. Until next time, we got Jacob and Benny signing out. Stay safe. Show them your tail lights.